Okay, hello. Good morning, everybody. This is Sharonda, and this is my YouTube podcast and YouTube channel, all in one, Spiritual Sense. Today is Thursday, and so we're going to go ahead. We're going to get into the three-card reading for today. But before I do so, I want to state that this uh, podcast is for entertainment, informational, and sometimes educational purposes. It just depends on which podcast or what episode you may listen to. All right. So it's optional. It's not a religious nor a biblical podcast, although I may bring up the biblical text. Cannot argue right away in the mind, okay? These are my opinions. This is my spiritual sense. All right. So I consider myself to be a gypsy, nomad, spiritualist, psychic, light, intuitive, magic mind medium, self-proclaimed parapsychologist, um, amongst other things. So I do believe that we all possess psychic ability or psychic-like capability, prophetic capability, however you want to refer to it, is all one and the same if you actually want my personal opinion. I think it's all one and the same. It just depends on what you would classify it as. So I can classify myself as a medium. That means I am able to relate information from a different spectrum into this one. Uh, does it happen all the time? No, it does not. Am I mentally ill? At one point in time, I did begin to question my mental sanity. I think me forefronting this whole podcast um, thing is for those who have questioned their sanity, those who have doubted themselves, those who have been made to feel as though they're crazy or they don't know what they're talking about and the hush and all this other stuff, okay? And you will oftentimes find that the enemy likes to shut you up because they don't want to be exposed, right? Okay. So I am going to go because this is not a biblical sermon at all. I'm not here to argue about it. I'm not here to prove a point to anybody, dissuade, persuade. You choose to believe what you choose to believe. So before I proceed, I'm going to go into my prayer. Father Supreme Being of all being, thank you for waking me, family, and friends alike up this morning to see another day. Continue to bless us and shield us from any injury, harm, or danger. No weapon formed against us shall prosper. As it is said, it is so. I declare it and I decree. So I'm going to pay homage to Bash, Shemaiah, Shingo, Osiris, Ma'at, Ogun, and Oshun. These are deities in the Santeria, which is a um, African religious mixed with Catholicism. All right, so that's God by way of you're not or actually worshiping animals and elements and things like that. We are all an energy life force. We hold energy. It's God by way of, okay? So let's proceed. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do a three card today. I got a little thrown off on you. Typically on Thursdays, I do the astrological elemental reading or zodiac reading, but I got thrown off course, so it's okay. I'll just go ahead and do my 3, 6, or 10 card Celtic cross on Thursdays, and then it may vary, it may change. It just depends on the season and stuff. All right. Give me infinite wisdom, knowledge, capability, and understanding as I do my reading. Alrighty, so we're gonna pull out 3 cards. 3 cards. One, two, three. All right, let me get my cheat sheet out. Let me get out my cheat sheet. All right, so in the past I have lovers, which is a representation of partnership, deep love, a choice, the strength of two together. What I have in the present is Ace of Cups. So we're going to go down to the Ace of Cups. What does the Ace of Cups mention? It says new baby or relationship proposal, marriage. So, hey, it may be in relation to somebody regarding your relationship. Whoever is listening in or will be tuning in, I'm just reading the card. It says it may have Knight of Cups. It mentions the seducer. Um, but on my cheat sheet, it says a prince or princess, charming romance proposal. So for whoever is out there, things are working out favorably for you in terms of your relationship. I do believe that you may have been wondering about your relationship. You may have been wondering about to, the trajectory as to how your relationship was going, possibly in this year going into the new year. Because I do believe there's going to be a shift that's going to occur about this time going into the new year. And it's not going to be favorable for a lot of people. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news. However, that does not mean that it will be for everybody. Catch my drift, it may be for some, but not for all. Well, I think whoever is tuning in or listening in, it's going to be favorable for you, particularly in the love department. Now, let's go ahead. We're going to pull uh, my love cards. Let's get a little bit of more clarity on this love. Things are going to work out favorable for you, so you don't have anything to worry about in terms of your relationship. I think you're going to get married perhaps in the spring. One, two, and three. Maybe in the spring time is what it may be. Who knows? All right, so says girl with the snake, empath, narcissist, prayer, damn, a dime, being charmed or used, enable boundaries. I honestly feel as though, um, as we know how life goes, it's going to always be a test. So you may have someone that comes up out of your lover's past to tempt and test you, and it may not necessarily be a woman. It may be very well a Jezebel spirit. If that makes sense to you, the Jezebel spirit is a very cunning, manipulative spirit. It breaks up marriages, relationships. It causes strife. Jezebel spirit, I oftentimes refer to it as a female, just you know, not being showing partiality or being biased or discriminating or what have you. Jezebel spirit can be inhabited by men and women alike, right? So when I say she or her or what have you, I'm not necessarily targeting one specific gender regarding this demon. That's what I feel. It's a demonic spirit, right? Um, but I do believe you have to be very careful about someone that's coming from, and I do believe I'm speaking to a woman, about somebody that's coming from your lover's past. Trust and believe it. You will always, um, whenever you're trying to go forward, you're gonna always have something to intersect and to keep you from being on the right path, right? So I am not speaking any curses on anybody. We want things to be favorable, but we also want to be conscientious of when things are unfavorable, because if you always get things how you want them, if things always go right, when things go wrong, you don't know how to handle or tackle the issue. All right, so I do believe there's going to be somebody that comes up from the past. Now I have seduction here, seduction, attraction, flirting, dating, hooking up, temptation, third party interference. So I think this seduction is how this person feel about you in this relationship. That lets me know that the person does have an attraction for you. When this temptation comes towards or comes back up, he's not going to be sidetracked with it. He is totally focused on you. So you don't have anything to worry about. Separation card, sadness, missing you, thinking about you, yearning, unsure of future. So you may have a situation where you may feel a little bit ambivalent, if that makes sense. How can I put ambiguous, or where you starting to have second thoughts. Oh my gosh, do I really want to do this? And da 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 this and that. That's quite normal. That's quite normal. When you get to feeling that way, just take out just some verses, whatever verses that works with you, that resonate with your spirit. I cannot tell you what verses to read because I don't particularly believe in the Bible per se. I mean, I'll bring up some biblical verses just to pivot off of it for dialogue. But seek out some type of verses or affirmation that can get you back to the state of where you want to be, right? Because every time you will find that whenever we are, and who are we? We in this life force as women. Whenever we are trying to move forward, we're gonna always get pushed back. Okay? I feel like I'm talking to a black woman as well, me being a black woman as well. That's not to say other women or ethnicities don't have problems, no. But as a black woman, you will find that you have unnecessary problems. And I'll just put it like that, quote unquote. All right, so let's proceed. Let's get a little bit about past history. So I'm put out my past history cards. Let's get a little bit about past history regarding this reading. Past history. All right, let's push this up. All right. I'm just going to pull out two cards. I don't want to take away from the authenticity of this reading. But I think you've been wondering about your relationship with things manifest. I show a baby. Now, this card here mentioned a baby earlier, Ace of Wands. I'm sorry, Ace of Cups. New baby. So that's your confirmation as to what the cheat sheet just mentioned earlier. This seduction could be when you begin to ovulate, when you begin to, if that makes sense to you, like when you begin to start, feeling those feelings, that I think that's going to be your time for when baby making season. Food and hunger, of course. So you'll know. We're saying food and hunger, but we know what that is. Sensuality and desire, we want to say, in this situation. So things are going to work out favorably for you. You don't have anything to worry about. All right, so we want to proceed with thoughts, faith, and belief. Thoughts, faith, and belief. I think I'm just going to pull out one of these cards today. I want this to be a positive reading because I think somebody was curious about their relationship, was curious about some things in terms of the relationship. So let's pull out the thoughts, faith, and belief cards, and we're going to proceed from there. All right, so let's see which card that I am focused on. Let's say this one. Let's say that one. All right, so it is the Four of Cups, but it's turned upside down. All right, let's go to the Four, and then Cups, apathy, feeling, unfulfilled, surprise gift. So again, um, I do believe, as I just mentioned, you're going to have a sensibility to where you're going to begin to, um, how can I put it, have a change of heart or even change of mind. I want you to know that that is quite normal when you are venturing off into something new. That's quite normal. So um, it's normal for us to begin to outthink a situation to where to get out of it. Because I'm the type person, I'm like that. Like if something is going right for me because I'm so used to issues and problems and strife coming towards me, that when something right or something well suited, it's like in a sense I kind of self sabotage to get out of the pressure of dealing with whatever the case may be. I think that you are like that as well, and so you may have some adversary to come towards you. You don't have anything to worry about, because I do believe that this Friday is this is going to happen. Or whoever is listening in or even tuning in. All right, so let's see what family history is mentioning. Let's go to family history. Let's go to family history. All right. And do bear with me. When I get up in the morning, I was intending on going and fixing me some coffee because it helps with my throat. And I sound a little bit raspy, a little bit masculine in the morning. So just bear with me with that. Typically, it helps once I drink me some coffee or even tea. But I wanted to go ahead and get this message out, and I'll go in there and I'll fit some in. But I did wanted to get this message out. I'm gonna pull these two cards for family history. I'm not gonna do this how I typically do. These two cards here. I do believe it's a message coming from family history. All right, let's go to the Egyptian tarot. All right, so we have a major arcana card as well as a minor arcana card. Now, for those tuning in, this right here is the major, and that is the minor arcana card. So let's go down. Again, this podcast and YouTube channel, all in one, is for entertainment purposes. All right, so we have the High Priestess. So we're able to see. It said the door to the occult sanctuary science letter by and then B, number 2. B equals 2 and expresses in the divine world knowledge of the absolute being, which embraces the 3 terms for all manifestations, the past, the present, and the future. In the intellectual world, it is binary. Reflection of unity in science, perception of visible and invisible things in the physical world. It is the female form of man, uniting herself to him to complete an equal destiny. The Arcana 2 is represented by a woman seated on the threshold of the Temple of Isis between two columns. The columns to her right is red, which is really not red on here, but I guess this color signifies a pure spirit and luminous ascension above matter. The column to her left is black and stands for the night of chaos and the imprisonment of an impure spirit in the bonds of matter. So again, I feel as though that red and black columns, I feel like this red one is a signification of this Jezebel spirit. That's what I feel. The woman is crowned with a tiara surmounted by a crescent moon, and a transparent veil falls over her face. A solo cross hangs from her neck, and an open book, half covered by her cloak, lies on her knees. This symbolic ensemble personifies occult science waiting for the initiate on the threshold of the sanctuary of our Isis. Oh my gosh, give me just a moment. All right. In order to tell him the secrets of universal nature, the solar cross, similar to the Indian lingam, signifies the commodity of matter by the spirit. It also expresses as the seal of the infinite, the science that comes from God and that has no borders like its source. The veil around the tiara and falling over her face announces the truth, avoids the gaze of profane curiosity. The half hidden book under her cloak signifies that mysteries are revealed only in solitude to the sage absorbed in silent contemplation in the full, quiet silence of himself. Remember, O son of earth, that the spirit lights up, seeking God with the eyes of will. God has said, let there be light, and light flooded space. Man must say, let will show itself and let good come to me. If man possesses a healthy will, he will see truth shine again, and led by it will reach the good he aspires to. If the Arcana 2 appears in your horoscope, knock resolutely at the door of the future and it will be open. But reflect long over the way you are about to walk. Turn your face towards the sun of justice, and the science of truth will be given you. Keep quiet about your plans as so as not to free them for contradiction by man. So again, I think what I mentioned earlier about this so-called person from the past is going to show up to kind of throw you off or what have you is a temptation piece. You're going to find that whenever, first of all, being a black woman, because I do believe I'm speaking to a black woman, you're going to oftentimes find that you're shrouded around people that don't want to see you succeed. And if you do, it's on their terms. That means it's conditional. So anytime you get into a situation, you're going to always have somebody to try to intercede to break that apart, right? When you know that you care about this person cares about you. But in situations such as that, when you are able to pick up energies, you'll begin to think that energies that God is making you aware of, that this is how you feel. So this is to enlighten you about what comes in, right? Now that's my take on that. The positive says study, severity in judgment, wisdom, intuition. The woman, the mother, air, the secrets of knowledge, occult science, platonic love, tendency to avoid ties. All right. This is an energy that I think that comes towards you. presumption, ignorance, egoism, evil intentions, immorality, nastiness, and hate. So you're going to find that you will always, and it's not just in relationships. I mean, I'm just speaking about relationships. It could be in your finances, life issues such as health, mental health, or whatever the case may be. So you will always be played with someone that's trying to break things away from you, right? Constantly. Let me explain something to you. They'll come at you charismatic wise, very charismatic. But the ultimate goal is to break you down and to keep you from having. So you got to be very careful when you are dealing with anybody. Okay? Because the biggest trick that they'll be able to pull is convincing the world he did not exist. If that wasn't the case, you wouldn't have all these um, media spirits that occur out here. If everybody was right and everybody got it right, why do we have media spirits? And you know what media spirits are. Why do we have teenage pregnancy? Why do we have a whole bunch of children in the foster care system and things of that sort? So I'm saying this to say you got to think about outside of the box, right? Okay, and begin to realize and recognize Satan for what he truly is, right? He's a deceptor, he's a liar, he's an illusionist. Satan, God and Satan is one and the same. And I'm gonna stand firmly about that because he gives us critical thinking tools, he put things within so you'll begin to know what comes towards you. They get mad because they can't fool you and dump their shit and get the hell on. Right? Like if I'm a manipulator and if I'm a somebody that's trying to get mines and get the hell on, why would I get mad because you don't want to be bothered with me? Because that goes to show you the mind. It's a battle in the mind. The mind is on the focus and fixated on what pleasures it versus anyone else. Right? Okay. Now we're going to proceed, and anybody get offended by that, I do apologize. I do. This is how you prevent a whole bunch of chaos and turmoil in your life. We don't give a damn about how they feel about it. Being a woman, you will understand God cares nothing about your feelings. Okay? I decide when you begin to have these sensuality type feelings. When I decide, he really doesn't care anything about your feelings. And you know that. Now let's go down and to the chalices, which is a minor arcana card. Again, this podcast is for entertainment purposes. It is for entertainment purposes. Reading is optional. Alrighty. So, this card is the Ace of Chalices. We know the chalices has a lot to do with emotions and feelings and things of that nature. So it says Osiris soul. A chalice symbol of Osiris heart is protected by two papyruses that act as a gateway between worlds. Below there is an amulet that gives the power to free oneself from every impediment. So the positive mentions great joy, abundance, start of a new love, family, celebrations, worldly pleasure. So again, the start of this new love, this new venture in your life, I think this right here is such as that. Things are going to work favorably for you. You don't have anything to worry about. There will be times where you are plagued with temptation, particularly when the baby comes into the mix. And I don't want to be negative. I want to be realistic. When the baby comes into the mix, it's going to have you questioning things, I believe. I'm just going to put it out there. The negative mentions negative changes, instability, involution, scarce results, small problems. So it's nothing to worry about. It just mentions small problems, isn't it? Let's look up this word involution. Evolution. Let's look that word up. So it says the shrinkage of an organ in old age or when inactive, the uterus after childbirth is what it mentions here. So you may be plagued with some female issues based on the cards. I'm not speaking any curses out there. This is like these are the things that happens. So take heed to that. You may have a situation where you begin to question everything. Right? All right. All right. So we want positive. We want things to be positive. Let's get your soul truth. Let's get your soul truth card. Your soul purpose card. And I'm gonna bring this to a close. Let's get your soul purpose. But if everything is not favorable, what's the point? I have one of those same words. I have one of those same words. I'm not going to do a soul truth today, but I will end with your healing or oracle as well as your angel card. So I will do that because I do believe that is important in this reading. Whoever it is for, I really don't speak to a black woman, but hey, could very well be a nurse. I don't know, or somebody that's in the health field. All right, we have practice. Polish your skills by practicing regularly. So you're going to have to learn to adapt. That's just bottom line. Just learn to adapt to a situation because I do believe that it's not going to be, things are going to work for you, but there's going to be it's going to be some unfavorable things that come towards you. You just got to be prepared for it. That's all I can say. The next card I have here is the Healing Oracle card. So, source is wanting me to not your Healing Oracle card. All right, so the Healing Oracle card, joy. Like a child, I discovered joy in the simplicity of life. Happiness lies in magical moments, not in the material. Even the smallest joy is a great source of light. So I think this baby you're going to have is going to bring you some enlightenment. I feel this baby is going to bring you some enlightenment about a situation. Trust me, it's going to be it's you're going to have some things that will make you question a lot of things. It really is. But I think this too shall pass, right? All right, now let's proceed. Well, your angel cards, and then we're going to bring this to a close. And for those who may be listening in or tuning in, or will be tuning in, if you're wondering, you can send me a message by commenting below. All right. I do have the Patreon. You go on patreon.com/spiritual sense. I have the 3 tiers of the readings that I will be doing. So you just choose whichever membership you want to partake in. Okay? Clairaudience. Archangel Zachiel, notice the loving guidance you hear inside your mind from other people. I think that's your intuition. I think what's going to happen with you, to this whoever this black woman that I feel is between the age of 30 and 35. That's your inner insight, your inner knowing about how life truly works. Your discerning spirit. That's your the wisdom will come to you is what it lets me know about energy spaces that reciprocates even into this time of existence. You will begin to understand why a lot of the so-called biblical text, which is supposedly, I guess, the life's guideline, was written the way it was. And you'll begin to get an inner knowing, inner knowing. All right? So I want to conclude this episode of Spiritual Sense, doing the three-card reading. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, you're more than welcome to comment below. Until then, have a safe and wonderful day. Good day.